After spending 5 years in the streets as a vendor, I realized that each man is in charge of whether they make it or break it in business. I've put together pragmatic business nuggets for entrepreneurs that have sustained me in the most uncertain economic times. Join me on this journey to impart this business wisdom to the movers and shakers. Together, let's build a strong network of entrepreneurs who break limits.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Jerry, the Chartered Vendor Show. How has been your week, Jerry?
It was super fine, although it was very busy.
Why was it busy?
I started writing my other book.
Oh, book number 2.
Selling like a vendor.
Selling like a vendor. You should totally stay tuned and hear where this is going. Well, talking about sales, today we want to get more into what sales are. So What is prospecting in sales?
Okay, prospecting is trying to look for a potential client. It's just like in mining.
It's gold panning.
Gold panning, you're prospecting for minerals. So in sales, you'll be also prospecting for potential clients and potential customers. So it's very, very crucial for businesses to know how to prospect, for people to know how to prospect. Just imagine you're starting a business today.
Yes.
Usually you start without even any customer. So you are supposed now to start looking for customers, hunting for those people who can support your business, who are going to grow your business. So yes, as you start growing your business, as people, they are now starting to know your brand. When people are when you're starting, people, they don't even trust.
They don't know you. Yeah.
They don't trust your brand. They don't trust who you are.
Well, we trust what we know. People trust what they know.
Exactly. Like, it's end of the day, sales, it's all about relationship.
Yes.
Like, for example, if you take maybe a bottle of Coca-Cola, you can drink without even any hesitance. But if you're going to take maybe Chimuti Cola, you
first need to check what's in the ingredients.
You can even check in the ingredients, checking whether when you're drinking you're also skeptical. Even water, you are always skeptical. So in prospecting now, that's where the real money is, because you can know how to follow up a customer.
Yes.
You can know how to close. You can know how to call a client, but so long if you don't have someone to call to, you're never going to have any money. So that's why prospecting is very key. And today we just want to discuss this fundamental topic, which is called prospecting, and I think it's the hardest thing which you can do in sales.
Yes,
just
like
imagine
the finding of clients, because you need to find people first
starting from scratch, a cold call. Yeah, calling
and you
someone.
Need to know who you're supposed to be calling, because you can't just cold call nilly-willy, right?
Exactly, and they say the percentage of cold calling usually, the closing rate of cold calls is around 25%. So you need to have a lot of clients. So it means if you're targeting, if your business, maybe for you to break even, it's 25 clients, you need to call 100 clients.
Yes. Right. So how then, you said, the first part is knowing the clients, finding which people have the potential to become your customers and clients. How then do you go about that? Trying to find the right people that are the right fit for your product, and then moving on to then calling them and getting more information about what their problem is, like we discussed last week.
Thank you very much. Like, what you have to first do is you are going to do your market analysis, whereby you're now going to say, who is my customer? Who is going to buy to me? Some of the products you're just going to buy B2C. B2C is business to consumer, like just to one person who is going to come into your shop. For example, these retail shops, they deal with individuals. Maybe someone is just going to buy, but other companies, for other services, you can deal with both B2C, B2B, even B2G, whereby it's business to government, business to business. So I'm saying you want to deal with companies. Okay, how can I start finding companies in Harare? Maybe we're going to buy my services. You start now maybe with those companies which maybe your previous employers, or maybe where your friends are working, because it's not supposed to be very, very difficult. If you're going to start doing cold calls, visiting customers from scratch, sometimes you've got a small marketing budget, you don't even have proper material to go and advertise out there. You really need to work with people who are around you. You really need to start building from those kind of people who are around you.
So are we saying that prospecting is only for, people who deal with companies? Like you're saying, with retail, the customers are just walking in. They walk in, see what they like, buy, go. So is prospecting only for people who are dealing with, other companies? If you're providing goods to companies or providing services to companies, is that only when prospecting works?
No. Yes, it works with companies, but also even when you're prospecting for those individuals who are going to come and buy your products or your services, because we're just saying it's a process whereby you want to get a potential client. So even if you're a vendor like me, you're selling bananas, you need a potential client. If someone if you've got maybe your neighbor, if you've got your friend, if they know that Jerry is now selling bananas, those people are the first people who would want to support you.
Okay.
So we are saying just prospecting each and every business. And I think even churches these days, they are also prospecting for congregants.
Yes, they're trying to save souls.
Yeah, even politicians, they are prospecting. They are trying to find people who are going to vote for them, the voters. For them to vote, you need to do the prospecting. If you're maybe going to say, I'm targeting Grenora, what are the ages of the people who are in Glenora? What do they really like? What are their needs? What are their problems? Maybe you're going to say, I will solve your sewer. I'm going to remove maybe potholes, etc. You are prospecting.
So the first stage of prospecting is just analyzing the people that would, benefit from the service or good that you're providing.
Exactly. Remember, once said people buy because of two things.
Yes.
They buy because they want to solve a problem. They also buy because they want to look good.
Yes, they want to.
So you want to see that whether my product now, the first thing is to see whether your product makes people look good, or your product can make someone look good and the other individual solve a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll maybe give you an example.
Okay.
Maybe a lady with a huge forehead. So you are now having those hair pieces. What do you call them? Your Brazilians, etc.
Yes.
So when someone is buying a Brazilian, they want to look good.
Okay.
But someone is actually solving a problem.
Another problem.
Hiding a big forehead. So
Jerry, the stylist, yes.
so it's the same product,
yes,
but it's solving a problem and it's also making another individual looking good.
Yes.
So you really need to have that analysis now to say, and
which kind of people will my product make feel good, and which kind of people will it solve a particular problem
So
for?
firstly is to do the marketing analysis. Who needs my product out there? Am I targeting everyone, or I'm just focusing on a certain niche in an economy? So you need to know where you're actually going to publish, to start advertising your product. Yeah.
All right. Now that's very good. Thank you very much for that. What I want to know now is, is it important for SMEs to be constantly hunting for potential client? And, if it is, why? Why can they just not, stick to a certain particular group? Why is that need to continuously be hunting for potential clients?
Yeah. For example, in this kind of economy, the economy is a bit difficult.
Yes.
So let's say you are targeting other companies. Do you know that other companies are closing each and every day?
Yes.
And other people, sometimes they are not happy with your service. It's unavoidable for you to have complaints here and there.
Okay.
And usually if you are retaining your customers, maybe at 95%, 90%, you're actually doing very, very good.
All right.
Because you are going to lose other customers, maybe to your competitors, or maybe because they are not happy with something which has been done by your people. So when you're not going to replace those clients, very soon you'll be out of the business.
Yes.
I've noted various companies who just rely on one customer.
Yes.
And that is very dangerous.
That's
Maybe
very dangerous.
you are relying on only 10 customers. When they're going to say they no longer want to do business with you, you're dead, you're out of the business. So what I'm saying is, if you've got one individual, if you lose one client, like what we do here, my ratio is, if I lose one client, I would like to gain 10 more.
Okay.
To replace that one client. That's my ratio.
Lose one.
You lose
gain
one,
10.
gain 10.
Okay.
Because if you do that now, you can blow up your pipeline. You're always in business. And you know that you want to, I personally want to create more problems of trying to service a lot of clients. Or that's why we are also now even trying to open around Africa to say, we are no longer comfortable with dealing with these small problems in Zimbabwe. Why can't we solve problems at an international level? So that's why SMEs, each and every SMEs, when you're waking up, prospecting remains key. Personally,
prospect every single day.
Every single day. Personally, every day I want at least 10 new contacts in my phone, because you, like what I once said, that for you to have a contract, you should have a contact. You should have a contact. So if you've got 10 contacts, if you nurture those relationships, that's the other which differentiates the contact and the contract.
Yes.
You are going to make money. You are going to have a customer. You are going to have someone who's going to trust you.
Yes.
You are going to have someone who's going to know this person. Because also clients, they don't care about what you know.
Yes.
They start caring about what you know when they know that you care.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they only start caring when they know that you care.
You care.
Otherwise, it's irrelevant to them if you know what you know.
So just imagine a doctor, they want to remove maybe your teeth, a dentist. Then they just say, okay. They don't even show that
bedside manner.
They don't show empathy.
Good bedside manner.
Yeah, they don't show empathy. Are you going to do business with them, or you just say, I'm not even skeptical to
this
deal
is my
with
life.
this? Yeah, exactly.
I need somebody who's empathic to what I'm feeling.
Someone who's empathetic, someone who's saying, no, you're never going to feel any pain in the next 24 hours.
Someone who takes the time to listen to your fears and kind of try and quell them.
And also ask questions, solve that problem. That's the person you want to deal with. So it develops in a certain amount of time to say, you cannot trust me the first. I think the first time we met, there's no way I was going to say, Shami should come and join me on the Ask Jerry. I'm going to say, why?
Yes, and I'm like, yes, what's it going to benefit me?
Yeah, so that's how it is in the world of selling. SMEs every day wake up and start hunting for clients, and don't choose the places where you're going to go to hunt for clients. Wherever you are, be it in a combi, be it in a taxi, be it in a church, wherever you are, try to find a potential client.
Yes, so it's important to focus on retaining customers, but don't just focus on retaining customers. You also need to focus on constantly creating new customers.
Exactly.
When we're discussing about these potential clients, you talked about a pipeline. What exactly do you mean by a pipeline? When we're talking about sales.
Okay. When we talk about a pipeline, when you're in sales, you have got the number of potential clients which you have in your database. That's a pipeline.
Okay.
So we are saying I've got 100 potential clients. Maybe I'm closing at a ratio of 10%. It means I'm almost guaranteed that I can get 10 clients from those 100 clients. If I want now to have 20 clients, I need to move my pipeline to 200 potential clients. So your closing ratio. It's very rare for people to have a closing ratio which can maybe move to 20.
Yes.
You'll be a good salesperson for you to close at a rate of 20%, depending on business, obvious, but usually it's a rate of 20% and below. So you need now to grow your pipeline each and every day. So let's say you're a salesperson who is being paid on commission. If you want maybe commission for $1,000, you have to know how many clients am I supposed to target for me to get $1,000.
Yes.
But what happens now with the salespeople now? They just wait and rely on the customers who are coming to them rather than for us going out. Even in the retail industry, I think dynamics have actually changed. We should be going out to the market rather than waiting for the market to come to us, to just say, I'm now selling a certain product. I wait. Someone is just going to come to me because they now know that I'm selling a certain product. Yes. It's not the right mentality when you're in sales. Even a retailer, just imagine you've got your favorite shop where you buy your groceries each and every month. Maybe on the same dates.
Yes.
Maybe you buy your groceries on the 27th or the 28th. Imagine if that retail shop, they write your name, they write your contact. Maybe on the 25th, they actually say, ma'am, we've got a special for you on the 27th. Please remember to come and buy your groceries.
Yeah, that would feel great.
That would feel great. But the retail now, they are used to, I should have a good location. They don't even count the customers they are losing every day. They'll just realize when they are now out of business that people are no longer coming to our shop. So it's very vital now for them to actually start going out to the market.
Yes.
So it's for everyone. Someone can argue that, no, I'm selling spare parts.
So it doesn't matter.
I'm into repairs. I'm a medical doctor. Everyone should go out to the market. But maybe there are actually different ways
of them doing it that work for the
So I
different
usually
products.
say, I've got a term whereby I say you should blow your pipeline.
Okay.
Your pipeline must actually be very big that you've got a problem of managing that pipeline. When maybe you've got 400 clients
That's
you want
the type
to
of
call a
problem you
day,
want to have.
you want to have that problem. Not to
Yes.
say I've got a problem that I don't even have. Someone who's coming to my shop or someone is coming to my office.
Okay.
You need to have a new problem.
If you want to know more about blowing up your pipeline, join us after this break. Welcome back to our segment today. We were talking about blowing up your pipeline, right? So how do you go about, one, building a pipeline, building a very strong one, and then two, blowing up that pipeline?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think what must be done when you're a salesperson, when you're the CEO, when you're the shareholder, I think the emphasis must be on how can we get potential business?
Okay.
How can we get more clients? How can we quit relying on that certain big client? Because sooner or later, you'll be out of business if you just rely on that one or 10 or 100 or even 1,000 people. Personally, I would like to actually rely on more than 7 billion people who are on this planet.
Yes.
That's when I can say now my business is now
It's
safe.
flourishing, yeah.
Yeah. So that mentality now, every day it must be a reminder, it must be a war cry at each and every organization that how are we getting new business? How are we getting new deals? How are we getting those new clients?
But then does that not get affected by, difficult economies?
Usually in the difficult economy, for example, like in Zimbabwe or in Africa, you actually, that's when it's very, very key for you to be prospecting. Like what I said, most of the companies that are getting out of the business, the income of certain individuals are being eroded each and every day.
Yes.
So if you don't have those many clients, let's say maybe someone was earning $150, but maybe that $150 is going to be reduced to $75 because of inflation.
Yes.
It means now you now have a customer without a buying power.
Yes.
Hence, you need now to have many
More
customers who can buy maybe your products in smaller quantities. So that's how you can only remain in business. So that's why it's very key, especially in difficult economies. Prospecting must be fundamental. Prospecting must be for everyone in the business. At least your receptionist must bring a referral. Your mechanic must bring a referral. Your driver must bring a referral. Your messenger must bring a referral. Your shareholders must also contribute to bring referrals to the business.
So are you saying people
for it
should
to
be
sustain?
going out there and just getting numbers?
Just getting numbers.
Getting contacts.
Get solutions, get numbers. A one is not good in business, and one is not also good to rely on one customer, on one supplier, on one stakeholder. I'll just give you an example of what is happening in Russia and the war in Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia, they're at war. Then NATO is actually giving Russia sanctions.
Yes.
But they cannot sanction Russia because I think one of the European countries, Germany, is actually relying 90% of their gas is coming from Russia. So it's impossible to cut ties with Russia totally because they were relying on Russia for many years. Right now, Russia is now a beast. They also want to have a cake and the controlling of these world powers in the world dynamics. But they can't cut off Russia, and Russia has actually said, we now need rubles for you to buy gas or oil in Russia right now. They've seized, they said we no longer want US dollar, we no longer want euro, they only want their money, their Russian money, of which these guys, they wanted to sanction their money. So relying on one person.
So don't rely on one
Don't
person.
rely on one person, but
So
maybe
it doesn't
maybe
matter
in a
then.
marriage only. Yeah.
So in business, it doesn't matter then that, you're maybe let's say you're working with OK, and OK has OK, Chirezi, Mashingo, Gweru, Blawayo, and people are counting that as if they've got 10 different stores they're supplying, and yet it's just one.
Just one. The change of management in OK can
literally just
you're out
take
of the
all of that
business, or the death of someone who was actually keeping you on a contract. Because sometimes there's just one person who is saying you cannot leave M&J, or you cannot. No, without Jerry,
nothing would work.
Nothing would work. We can still rely on Jerry, but maybe everyone else
Is against
Jerry. So that's why you don't have to rely on anyone. Rely on the market. The market is still open. Even for the most difficult economies, there is still potential business out there. That's why also when you're also prospecting, there's also need to innovate and making sure that your business is also
evolving,
doing other things. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you think that, prospecting and this whole building of sales funnels and everything, is it a sales responsibility, or is it like marketing department responsibility, or is it, a combination of both?
Yeah, thank you for that interesting question. It's a combination of everyone in an organization.
Not just sales or marketing.
But what you'd want to do now is salespeople, they're being paid on commission. Salespeople, naturally, they are fans of warm leads. When I'm saying a warm lead, is someone who has expressed interest. Someone who might buy maybe in the next 2 days, 3 days. But when we are now talking of building a strong pipeline, we are now checking that, yes, we can do business with A in April. How are we going to get someone who's going to do business with us in December?
Okay.
How are we going to get someone who's going to do business with us next year? How can we get someone who's going to do business with us in the next 5 years? So that mentality now is not in the sales people, is actually in the marketing people.
Right, so because the sales people are for now, and marketing is for the future.
It's for the future. So I think marketing is supposed to be building that pipeline for the salespeople, because it doesn't make any sense if you see your salesperson now doing that cold calling, starting from afresh, because it doesn't make any sense trying to get a lead from afresh.
Yes.
Whilst you've got another lead which is actually warm, which can give you money tomorrow, because as a company also we need to survive now. Hence, it's actually crucial for you to start to get those marketing people to go out there
and lay that foundation.
Get a warm lead, send it to the salespeople. The salespeople, they close. Then we can move on and
the cycle just keeps going.
So
on.
I believe, yes, everyone is supposed to be in the prospecting business, but the marketing department is supposed to be the one. It's not all about branding, like to say, we want to have a strong brand, we want to build a brand, but they're supposed to also focus on how are we going to generate more business, how are we going to get that next, like for example, we're doing business in Harare, how are we going to get clients in Vic Falls? How am I going to get clients in Lupane, Plumtree, Nyanga, Onde Valley? That is supposed to be the focus of the marketing team, whilst it's now complementing the sales team, and they're supposed to work as a team.
Okay. Yeah. So do you think that, advertising on its own serves as a good way of prospecting? Because when you're advertising, you're putting yourself out there, and yet you are also giving the power to the person who's seeing this advert to say, okay, I've seen this advert, I will call. Does that work with this way of prospecting, like you're saying, that you need to go out there and find the people?
Yeah, if building advertisements is actually a way of prospecting. Even if you've got a billboard, you're on radio, you're on Facebook and Instagram, you are looking for a potential customer. For example, if you're in a business, maybe you're doing interior designing, interior decor, if maybe you put your ads out there, someone is going to be interested. They also want you to do that same thing in their house, etc. That's part of prospecting.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not always about the word of mouth. It's not always about maybe you go to church, you look at your church mates, you hunt for business, you go to the bar, to the pub, you look for potential business meetings, etc. But you can start also generating leads by sponsoring ads. What I'm just saying is you need to find a client. But maybe, because I'll be small in business, maybe I'm a small player in that business, I'm an SME.
Yes.
I don't have maybe that big budget to say to have an ad on Facebook. Maybe I don't even have money to sponsor my ads. I don't even have money to do a billboard. I don't even have money to go on radio. But the easiest way I can do is maybe by networking, going to those events maybe which are even for free, trying to find those potential clients, maybe knowing that so and so who is a decision maker in this certain company drinks in this certain bar. You go to that bar
and you just start
networking, and you know each other, you introduce your business. That's how you can also build your business, sports, etc. going to your family. It's called a power base. You are relying on those people who have got power to
kind of invested in your success as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now that you have been telling us about prospecting and all of that, can you give us practical ways of how, like in your book, you were talking about how you managed to get like your first clients. Can you just walk through that, walk us through that for people who have not read the book? And if you haven't, please go out and buy that book.
True. Yeah. So what I did, I'll maybe take you through how I started M&G.
Yes.
Because I started M&G alone. And it was very difficult. You don't even have anyone who you know. But the way I started M&J was because, remember, I started off M&J because I was working somewhere.
Okay.
Then the sales department was fired, or they were retrenched. And they were given benefits.
Okay.
Their benefits were they're supposed to register companies and started doing bookshops. Well, the company I was working for was a publishing house.
All right.
So this publishing house gave them their retrenchment package in form of stock and consignment stock as well.
Okay.
And they were asked to put up bookshops in various cities. So they did that. And guess who was supposed to register for them? It was me.
Okay.
That's when I said, that month I think I actually exceeded my salary.
Yes.
I wanted to resign, but I was forced out of my work and fired. Then after being fired,
that's how things start.
Yeah.
You get kind of pushed out of your comfort zone because it's time for you to go.
Yes.
You wouldn't be where you are today if you stayed.
After being pushed, I started relying on those guys for business first.
Okay.
Because they were my colleagues, they were my former workmates. I started traveling to Chivu. Sometimes, do you know that I traveled to Shishawani and I got a consultant's fee of $40 at one point.
Having traveled all that way.
Shishawani, I would go to Gokwe just for me to get a $90 to Gokwe. So that's what was happening when I was starting. I relied on those people, but it came a time now and I noticed that no, I cannot grow a business with these
just
people
my
only.
power base only.
So I started going to the registrar the deeds of registrar of companies, the offices at Angwa and Nelson Mandela. I would go there, start harnessing for those clients. Sometimes I would have my flyers. When I see someone gets into the office, because it was also illegal
back then
to get clients from the deeds office. So I would go there trying to get clients. Sometimes police would remove you from there, but I would get clients. I got Chinese, I got white guys from that. So it was kind of, I was also prospecting, but it was more like guerrilla prospecting.
Okay,
I'm going right there where I know that there's potential business, start getting clients from there. When I had a bit of dollars now, I started even advertising in newspapers.
Okay.
Because back then, people were still doing a lot of newspaper ads and they were really working. I don't know if they are still working right now because I got some other big clients. I think one of my biggest contract I actually got it through a newspaper
ad, yes.
And I won that deal that it's actually even helped me to build my house. So, but anyway, what I'm just saying is prospecting is fundamental. And you really need. I built my business because I'm prospecting, and up to now, I am not satisfied with the number of clients. Like right now, our database, our pipeline, I think is blowing to about 32,000 clients, but we are not comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, we want millions in our database.
Don't be comfortable with where you are. You should always be striving, to get ahead, to get more. Thank you very much for joining us today. See you again next week.